Hey, friends, and welcome to the podcast. On this episode, Charlene Raikany from Booked and Balanced is back, and we are talking about building a community to help build your brand. Our guest, as always, the one and only Charlene Raikany from Booked and Balanced. And today, friends, we're talking about building a business, and it's one of the most rewarding / challenging things to do in a climate like this, Charlene, and I'm interested to get your point of view. So you are doing something that I find fascinating where you are already running a successful business. And then alongside it, you're actually, which is what I love about you, is you're actually testing what you teach, right? You have clients that come in and go, I've got an egg of an idea. How do I turn it into a chicken? And you go, I know. And then meanwhile, you've got an egg of an idea that's turning into a chicken on the side. And so I'm wondering if you could walk people through sort of how to get that egg into a pen, so to speak, so you can manage it and then start to foster it into a community and then a business.
Yeah. So I woke up one day, just like my clients, like you said, with an idea. And I'm a CPA. I've been doing this a long time. I've worked in many different industries with with a lot of great leaders. But I thought to myself, how do I turn this idea into something? I was able to open up a CPA firm and get clients, but this idea was outside of me. I've never had an idea that was in the technology space, and I didn't know what to do or where to go. I think the biggest thing for me was finding people in the SaaS space that were able to guide me. Honestly, my biggest thing was I woke up with an idea. I did some research on LinkedIn, called some people, and I said, I have an idea. Can you help me figure out how to bring this idea to life? And they helped me understand what it takes to bring an idea to life. I already know what it takes to build a business, but I didn't understand what it took to take an idea and make it into an app.
And so if people have a similar situation, what specifically did you do on LinkedIn? You know, what were you searching? Who were you reaching out to? How were you figuring out? Because one of the things about LinkedIn, right, is there's a bunch of people on there that claim to be experts and a bunch of people who are experts. How did you break the wheat from the chaff, so to speak, and find the right people to reach out to?
Oddly enough, I went to the App Store on my iPhone and I looked at apps that were sort of similar to what I want to do, and I found the creators. And then I went to their site and I found out the names of the developers and the creators, and I added them on LinkedIn, all of them, and I messaged them. Most of them didn't respond, but some of them did. And I said, I have this great idea. I'm not looking for anything but your mentorship. I'm not looking for money. I'm not looking for ideas. I'm looking for your time that I know is very limited, but if you could just help me out. And these people want to help you. These are normal people, just like me and you, that have ideas and they took off and they want to help people. So that's how I did my research. I went on the App Store, found apps, found the creators, and found them on LinkedIn or Instagram.
And I love that advice, right? Because both on Instagram and LinkedIn, you will find that people will respond to the DMs in a way that they won't to email and they won't on Facebook. And so those two, which is interesting since Facebook and Instagram are the same company, but for whatever reason, they're more apt to respond to you, no pun intended, on Instagram than they are Facebook. And I would say, the hidden gem in that advice is LinkedIn, is that if you have 20 developers or 20 lawyers or 20 accountants or 20 VCs, 3 of them are going to respond to you in one way, shape, or form. And that's a pretty good way to get a business built.
Completely agree. And that's what I said in my TikTok. The end of my TikTok said, when you're ready to start your business, you find the first, the second, the third, and the fourth greatest person in that industry, and you follow them on every social media platform, and you message them every single day. I want to be like you. How did you get here? Or can you please help me? This is my dream and I have no one to mentor me. These people do want to help you. I truly believe that, and I've seen it. So you find the greatest in the industry, even if they're not celebrities. I'm a CPA and I have a CPA mentor that's amazing. And when I first started, I didn't know everything. Hell, I didn't know anything. So I called him and I said, help me. I said, help me be you. I want to be you. I want your company. I want to build my brand like you did. And he mentored me. That's what you do. You find the best in the industry that's accessible to you. It might not be a celebrity on Instagram. It might be someone in your network that you know is the greatest CPA, the greatest attorney, the greatest developer, the greatest interior designer, and you message them. They love it. I would love it if a young accounting student said, "I want to be like you, train me," and I would love to do that. That's what you do. You find the best and you follow them.
Charlene, do you think your teaching and your want to teach helps foster that humility? Because that is something that is sort of rare, certainly in the tech space.
Teaching definitely has helped me. Has helped me realize that I don't know everything. And I appreciate when students come up to me and admit that they don't understand or they don't get what's going on. And I've realized that I respect that more. So people, my clients, my mentors, respect it more when you admit, hey, I don't know the answer to this. Let me talk to some people that do. And then I go to them and say, listen, I have a client. I don't know the answer to this. You're great in this. You got to hype people up.
Right.
You're great in this. That's the only way they're going to give you their time. You remind them why they're the best. And I think people respect that more than just acting like you know everything. For example, I went to a doctor recently and he's going to perform a procedure. And he said to me, I want a colleague in the room with me just to make sure we do this right. And I respected that a lot more than him saying, I got this. I can do this all on my own.
Yes.
I felt so much more comfortable that he realized that he might lack in a certain space. That didn't make me nervous. I didn't say I'm not using this surgeon. He was humble enough and smart enough to say there's going to be two of us now. And what's better than having two? So you have me, and then you have my mentors teaching me something new every single day. I mean, I'd want to go to me knowing that.
For sure, Charlene. So you've got this community, you've got a network of people to kind of guide you through this stuff. What are some of the next steps you should be thinking about when you're building this brand from the ground up? You've got people to help you answer questions. Now, what's the next step?
Honestly, what they've told me. So when I told them I have this idea for this app, and they said, slow down. The most important thing is to build a community. You need to build awareness and a need for your app. I mean, no one knows they need it until you tell them they need it. No one even knows. So what I'm trying to create, no one would even know that I'm filling some gap. So I have to build this brand. And that's what I was trying to do with TikTok and failed. But I need to build a community. So I started a blog. I'm going to be posting more on LinkedIn, posting more on Instagram. I need to get followers so that I can convince them that they need what I'm selling.
Well, and I think one of the interesting things about that strategy, right, is that you're sort of warming them up to the content, and then once they've consumed the content, they have a question or a need. It's very similar. I use this example a lot when I'm talking to other brands. Is if you think about home improvement, the very first thing most people do when they have a home improvement question is what? They go to YouTube. And about 3 or 4 years ago, Home Depot and Lowe's were not on YouTube, and then they very quickly figured out exactly what you were doing, is that if they have a question and I have the answer, then they're coming to my place to buy the garbage disposal, right? That's what we're talking about here.
You build trust. You build the community, you give them the information they need. And then when you're ready to give them a new concept, a new app, they trust you. They're like, okay, we've known Charlene now. She's been answering all of our questions. She knows what she's doing. She's creating an app. Let's download it. So you don't just come out and roll with an app and say, you know what, here, I hope this goes well. No, you get them to trust you. You get the users to trust you. I know who my users are going to be, so I build a blog around them. I advertise on Instagram, and I get to pick my age, the location, the community that this ad is going to target. I'm trying to gather this community, so when it's time, I say, okay, here's my app, guys. You've known me now for a year. You've seen that I give out great advice. Now I've come out with an app. People will download it because now they know me.
Now, Charlene, do you have a hard and fast date, or are you waiting for the community to be ready and then you go?
I'm waiting for the community to be ready. If I just launch this app, I'm going to fail miserably. If I can launch this app, no one will use it.
So let me ask you,
to understand why they need it.
Let me ask you this question then, because as an entrepreneur, as somebody with design ideas and inventor ideas, I can imagine that itch sort of sucks, that you've got a thing waiting to throw out into the world and you just have to wait. Do you have some advice for people on how to build that patience to go, I've got this great idea, I've got this great idea, but I can't throw it out. It's not time yet, because you understand the business implications of doing that. But I imagine what I know about you, it's probably an itch that's pretty hard to scratch right now.
Yes, I'm an Aries, and I know that people hate when people use their birth sign, but I'm an Aries and I'm hyper and I have ideas and I just want to get them out there. I want this app to launch yesterday, but your best bet is, again, talk to your mentors, and they will slow you down. Other people will say relax, and then when you're hearing it from not just one but two and three and four people in the industry saying slow down. So I had multiple people in different industries say slow down. And the same people all said across the board, my CPA mentor, the developers that I was working with, some really cool investors, all said, build a community, build a brand. And if they're all saying the same thing, no matter how hyper, no matter how excited I am, I know that I want to succeed and I have to do it their way because they're the ones that know what they're talking about. I went to the best of the best for a reason. I contacted the best of the best for a reason. I can't ignore their advice. So that's what you do. You shut up and you say, you know what? They know what they're saying. They know what they're doing. You got to be patient and you got to listen. And it actually feels great. Being patient feels great. I've never done it, but I'm trying it and it feels great.
I highly recommend patience, friends. Highly recommend it. So the last question I want to talk to you about is time management. Because as I said a couple minutes ago, you're already running a successful business while you're doing this. So what is, for people who are trying to do that, right? They've got a full-time job and they're working on their side hustle or whatever they want to call that. What's some advice on how to manage the clock so that they can get all of that stuff done, be successful in what they're doing right this very moment, be successful at Booked and Balanced, as well as building something properly to launch at some point in the future?
That's a great question. And that's something else that I recorded a video about. So let's say you work a 9 to 5, you have 5 kids at home and you have no time. What I like to do is work all day on all of my clients' stuff. I teach, I get all of that done. But at night, when I go home, instead of turning on the TV or playing on my phone, I write. I write down, and I'm not a writer. I don't have a journal. I don't like any of that stuff. But if I don't put it down on paper and set goals and dates, I'll never truly do it. When it's on paper, and then I stick it on my wall at my office so that I can look at it every day. But you go home, you don't turn on the TV, you don't get on your phone, you write down what your goal is. I want to start an interior design business. I want to start it by 2022. Here's what I need to do. And you try your best to check things off the list and you don't rush. Again, patience. It's going to take some time. Whatever it is that you need to do, it's going to take time. And you're not going to get clients right away. People are not going to trust you. You're new in the game. They're going to think you're an amateur. So you really have to be patient and build trust with the community. And if you build trust and you're patient, you'll succeed. I don't care who you are and what you're doing. You will succeed.
So last question for the day, because this is the other side of that coin, and I know you're fairly good at this. We're coming out of a season where people have rediscovered the importance of being kind to themselves, right? Because we've gone through this grind for a decade, and then COVID hits, and everyone's like, oh, I've got this time to go running. I've got this time to meditate. I've got this, and now they're trying to figure out how to get that back into their normal cycle as we're going back to offices and commuting and all that sort of stuff. And you've been managing quite a few balls in the air. And I'm wondering, what do you do to make sure that you get time to take care of yourself on top of running 2 businesses and a home and a family and?
So you go to work, you come home, you spend time with your family, you keep the TV turned off, you write, like I said, you write for an hour, maybe an hour and a half. You go to sleep. You wake up super early in the morning and you go to the gym, you go for a walk, you meditate. That's what I do. I don't sleep early, but I get 8 hours of sleep and I get up really early before everyone else does. And I go to the gym every single morning. And that is my time to relax. And then every Sunday, I do work on Sundays. I'm not going to lie to you. I work on Sundays, but only for a few hours. And then I go get a massage or I go to a spa. I relax on Sundays. I just chill. If relaxing with your family is what you want to do on Sunday, great. For me, it's going to get a massage and relaxing. So you pick a day, maybe it's only 4 hours of that day, but you just chill, you just relax. And then the other days you're just hustling, getting enough sleep, but hustling all day.
Charlene Raikany from Booked and Balanced, as always, a pleasure, my friend. Have a wonderful week. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. Thank you.